Alright guys, this is our next round, but before we start our next round, I have made a boo-boo, as they say. So this was actually pointed out to me from Facebook, the Facebook Dungeon Crusade page. Some people were watching the video, and this is something that I knew, and I even talked about this, I believe, in the beginning. And somehow it has just, like, I have not even noticed this. So, in Dungeon Crusade, there are 3 types of monsters. There's the minions. These are the ones that walk around in the dungeon freely. Then there's chambers that you go into, and those are champions, and then guardians are the big boys. Well, as you can see, I do have them spread out. I do have them, minions are here. Champions are there. For whatever reason, I've just been reaching over and grabbing a minion for a chamber monster. I should have been grabbing champions. Now, remember one of our quests talked about champions in the top, or is it in the crypt in somewhere else? I pulled those. Those are right. So I got those right. But I've been actually fighting minions. Now, the biggest difference is what you're going to see is these champions, their stats are a little bit better. They generally have an ability, but they've got essence, right? So, well, you can see, like, for example, here, this guy's got 2 essence. So I've really actually, I guess it just depends on how you look at it, right? I'm going to shuffle that. On the one hand, I've been kind of like handicapping myself because, and I double checked, I counted it up. I believe that there are 8 chambers that I've gone into. That seems like a couple of those were actually empty. I didn't have to buy anything, so we'll say 6 or 7-ish that I could have fought, which is a bunch of essence that I didn't get. Now, I would say that, they were easier to kill, but based on the fact that we've died twice, or actually 3 times. I don't know that that's necessarily accurate. So, thank you, Facebook group, for pointing that out. And, this is way later in the series, so I'm going to correct it from here because, again, I pre-recorded a bunch of these when I have the time. So, I just wanted to point that out. And I'm going to go back and make that mention for all the other previous rounds that we've had. Just know that going forward, that's the case. The good news is we still have 2 whole quest tables, so there will be plenty of time to fix that. And, that happens, right? But anyway, just wanted to point that out. So now let's actually start our actual turn with the resurrection of our paladin, who is unfortunately knocked out last time around. Alright, and so the second correction. So, as you can see, remember last time we talked, then we pulled that event at the end of the last round. I said, oh yeah, the paladin, that's who's going to do it. Well, I actually moved the sliders for the battle mage, and not the paladin. So, here's what we're going to do to fix that. The battle mage is going to go away, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, there's 1, I'm going to take 2, 3 mining site tokens off the board. One that was revealed, because remember, the mage had revealed 1. I'm going to give them a quick shuffle, and basically I'm going to put them back on the board face down so I don't know which one is which, okay? Because she did reveal that site. That way we don't know what mining site is what. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to undo. Remember, all she did was move. She didn't really do anything because she didn't have enough health to do anything. But I feel like our paladin has some options, so we're going to actually kind of retcon. I say retcon. We're going to go back. Nothing monster movement wise, guardian movement wise would affect this. So we're going to go back and we're basically going to do the Crusader's turn like it was last turn first, and then we'll get that out of the way. We'll be caught up. We're going into a chamber probably, so I'll make sure I use the right monsters this time. I'm not going to change Albus' movement. And that'll get us caught up where we need to be with the right people, because that's something easy I can fix. And then we'll bring her back, resurrect her, and then go from there. I think that's the easiest thing to do. So let's go down to the Paladin and actually do his last turn, which is the turn we should have done before. Alright, here we are with the Paladin. So remember, he's got his 2 actions. 2 actions. He's in that chamber. First action is going to be to move. And what we're doing is we're going to work towards these 2 chambers. Because remember, once we finish those 2 chambers, that will actually finish our side quest. And then the only thing we have left is taking out Guardians. We have the 2nd Guardian on the table, and most likely the 3rd Guardian is going to come up. Should come up soon. So yeah, we're going to roll for movement and see if we can make it over there to that chamber. Is you can see that's a 3, so that's a total of 5. So he's going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Oh no, I forgot about the arrow trap. It's supposed to be right there. So, he might not be going for that one. He may be going for this one. Because then we don't have to worry about that arrow trap. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. I know we're going to have to go in there at some point, but yeah. Yep. All right, here we go. Maybe. Oh my God. So that's a total of 3, and the entrance is way over here on the other side, so that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay, well, that was his movement. So actually nothing happened with him. Interesting. Okay, so that gets us caught up where we need to be. So now we're going to go back over and we're going to actually start the upkeep phase officially of this round that we're currently in. Okay, so if you remember, when we do the resurrection, we have our hero. We're going to roll a D3. And that is going to go towards both health and essence. So we got a 2. So we're going to go... Oops. Come on, little thing. Come on. There we go. Oops. Alright, 1, 2. Health and 1, 2 essence. Alright, and then we have a D12 roll for health and a D12 roll for essence. So this is for health. Yeah, that was on the rail, so. Okay, that's a 3. And essence. That's 3 total, so that's up to 5. Okay, so that brings her back. She can start anywhere. And I'm actually kind of thinking that I'm going to start her at the entrance. Because at least the paladin can heal himself for now. He's got Albus is right by him, so he can send Albus to get some couple more potions, which I hate to do, but I don't know a better way to do this. And that will give her an opportunity to maybe explore. Nah, she's gonna go up there with him. She might as well. That way, if something happens, or actually, maybe if Albus can, if he can get some gold, he might can send Albus back and we could do some mining if she's up there. Of course, that's a long way for him to run. So let's just do that. She's got that counterattack, and that's the Ice Prism and this Spectral Sword. So let's just shoot her up there with Carrick, since this is the upkeep. Because remember, we don't have any afflictions. We don't have any torches. We don't have, although we should probably get some torches at some point. We don't have any anything else to do other than assign our tokens. So we're going to go with the 135 we have been for him. 2, 4, 6 for her. So let's go to the dungeon and see what kind of trouble we can find. But first, we got to do our guardian roll. So she's going to go out here. Go ahead and put her in the dungeon. We got to do our guardian roll. Remember, if it is what are we at? 11 or better, then we're going to spawn the guardian. 17. Okay, so that is the spawn of the guardian. So what are we going to get? Let's draw and see. Alright, so here's the guardian, and we get Dread Thorne. 5 health, 7. Wow, he's big on mythical. That's not good for us. Ranged and spiritual, we're pretty good at. 15 and a 9 for the health. For the loot and the. That's not bad. So that's not too bad. So we're gonna put him down here with Razor Fang. So that means now we've had 3 guardians, and here's his standee. So we have had 3 guardians, so we're not gonna be doing any more guardians. But the other thing that I forgot to do, I meant to do an encounter first. Let's go ahead and draw our encounter. Look at that. The door to listen as they sure they saw a shadow under the. One of the heroes steps closer to the door to listen as they are sure they saw a shadow under the cracks of the door. Yes, interlude. Now, remember, there's only, 9 of these in the deck, and we've drawn 2 of those kind of close back to back, which means that the next several rounds is probably going to be, rough. Because we're going to be having to do stuff. But at least this is one round when she, our battle mage is coming back in, that she can hopefully get something done without being killed by the encounter, since she's pretty low on health. So let's go to the hero phase. Before we do that, we'll place the guardian, and then we'll go to the hero phase. So let's just go ahead and roll while we're here for the guardian. I know this is disjointed. Again, this is what happens when you film at 2 o'clock in the morning. So let's see where we're going to spawn the guardian. Is at 5. Oh, okay. Well, that is different. All right, let's put the guardian out, and then we'll go to the heroes after that. All right, so here we go. There he is. He's officially on the board at spawn point 5. Now that is kind of in the middle of the board, so interesting. We've got him there. Wow, they're kind of both same distance away. Interesting. All right, so let's go to our heroes and see what happens. Okay. We're going to start with our hero, Mr. Carrick. He is going to... Well, that's free action. He's going to give his money. So remember, he's got that $200. He's going to go ahead and give that to Albus. That's a trade. While he's there, just go ahead and get it off of him in case something happens. Then he's going to move. Remember, we're going to go into this location, and this is going to be one of the special locations that we're going to pull one of the light. We got 2 more enemies that we have to fight specifically, and I think they're both maybe going to be the Vipers, and I think we've killed the other 2. regular champions. So, you should be able to make it, okay, with a 3. Barely. 1, 2, 3. And his second action. Okay, yeah, enough to make it into the chamber. And of course, we flip this over, but we already know, per the quest that we're working on, that is, in fact, champion. So I have the last 2 champion cards here. So shuffle up. Let's see, let's make it fair. So 1 to 3, 4 to 6. That is a 3, so we're fighting this guy, which is this massive Viper. And yes, this is the champion, not the minion. So, wow. Let's go fight him. Let's see what happens. Alright, so here we are. Again, let's take a closer look at this guy. So he's got a 13 in physical, 9 in ranged, 11 in spiritual, 3 health, and it's going to be 2 essence when we take him out. We don't have to worry about our environment card. We just don't have to worry about double damage. So, and I've laid all these weapons out here. Excuse me, because he does have physical, and even though the bow does +2, we have a better chance to hit with this. Excuse me. So, I put that out there just in case. So, first thing we're going to do, and this is champion combat, which means, again, no final strike die. So, we've got 3 stats. We've got physical, spiritual, and ranged. So, let me grab those 3. There, yep, there we go. Physical, spiritual, physical, spiritual, physical, ranged, and mythical. Eventually, I will be able to call them out correctly. They are, just to keep up with what we can and can't do. We like physical, we like ranged. Mythical, we have a -3 on, so that one's no bueno. So let's roll first for which one of the 3. I guess I should arrange these as they are, shouldn't I? There we go. 1, 2, 3. Which one are you going to fight first? Of course, the first one is a 1. Well, guess what? I'm going to use that sword. So, we have a +2 for our sword. We have a +4 for our skill, for Carrick's skill. So that's a +6. 4, 2 is 6, yep, math checks out. We need a 13, so that means a 7. D20. 7 plus on our dice. There we go, come on, 7 plus 3 and 10 is 13. Well enough into what we need. So that's Viper has a damage. Now, he has no special skills or anything like that, so we're good to go. So now we need a 2 or a 3 to determine ranged or mythical. Okay, so mythical it is. If we're going to roll, we might as well roll with a bow. So I'm going to flip that over. We have a -3. That's an 11. So we need a 14 or better to hit. 3 and a 2 is not going to do it. So Carrick is going to take a damage. That takes him down to 5. Which means the last one is ranged. So our ranged skill is 0 on our character, but we're using a +3 with our bow, and our Thieves' Treads gives us another +2, so that's +5. We need a 9. 9 minus 5 is a 4, so 4 plus. If we hit him with this, hopefully we will, I'll take him out. But we've needed like 3 and rolled a 2, so it is possible we miss. Okay, there's a 15. Where were you at just a second ago, 15? I could have used you in the previous roll. Okay, we killed him. Pretty easy. Again, remember, that was pretty easy because we got a level 2 hero with a really nice bow. Because that was fortunate encounter that we got. So, now we're going to need to do our loot roll. We got a 13 plus to get 100 gold, an 18 plus for a loot. So, okay, a 1 is not going to do anything but mock us. So once again, we didn't do too well on the loot roll. So that is Carrick's activation. So that takes care of him. Now we'll go to our Battle Mage. We'll go to our Battle Mage and see what happens. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's also remember we get 2 life force for that. So that will give us a total of 10 life force in our pool, which is pretty awesome. Actually, no, I take that back. I haven't spent 3 for the Spectral Sword. We have 7. That'll give us 9. That'll give us 9 total in our pool. So we do have enough to upgrade our Battle Mage right when Celebration Day comes. So that's good. So now let's go to our Battle Mage and see what trouble she's going to get into. Okay, so we're over here with the Battle Mage. I think what she's going to do, because if you'll notice behind her is a trap. So this is by design by Roger. In order to complete these quests, you're going to have to go through traps in this dungeon. And traps are normally optional, but I think they add a lot to the game. And there's something that Roger did work hard on. And I mean, he took the time to figure out where to put them. And especially in this map, he put them intentionally so that you would have to go through those to complete the quest. So I think it behooves me to play with those, even if it does make it a little bit more difficult. So I think what she's going to do instead is she's actually going to head up here to check out that mining spot. Again, she does not have a pickaxe, but she can at least look at it and see what it is. She's so low on health, I don't think it's worth it. I think next time around, Carrick is going to probably have to use most of his essence to try to heal himself with his healing hands to get some more health, to get his health all the way up before he attempts to go through this trap. Because remember, that wall of arrows, you have to test agility, and you take 1d6, potentially 1d6 minus your level. So you take 1d6 minus 2 damage if he fails, which is not a lot for him, but we still have to do the chamber combat, and remember, we still got to deal with these guardians, so, and Albus is going to have to run back and get some potions of healing, potentially, so with only a couple hundred gold, we don't have a lot of options. And we're about out of treasure chest, so that's unfortunate. So, she's going to move towards that mining site, so movement. It's a 2 plus 2 is a 4, so she's going to go 1, 2, 3, boom, land on it. What do we got? Okay, it is mining site A, so that is a legitimate mining site. Awesome. She can't, so she's got another action, but honestly, I'm not sure what to do with it, because she can't use Enlightenment. She can't even learn the next level of what she's got, because she's learned both levels. There's no trading. I don't really want her to move anywhere. We don't have like a guardian that she could use her spectral sword on, potentially. I really don't want the guardian targeting her first anyway, if that's going to happen. So actually, I think with her next, she's going to go into try to get into this chamber. Actually, she's going to get into the chamber. The reason she's going to get into the chamber is I don't want her out there if the guardian comes by. So if she's in that chamber, the guardian won't see her. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, that's ridiculous movement. She runs quite swiftly across the hall into this chamber. So she's in there with Carrick. Right, so they're hiding out away from the prying eyes, if you will. So that takes care of her activation. So now we're going to go to the third activation, which is back to Carrick. So he is right there in the dungeon, so we're already right there, so let's just do it to it. So he has got 6 essence, okay? So remember his healing hands is not channeled, so it costs 2 essence to use. It may be activated at any time. Let's review the card here. Doesn't matter whether it's chamber or dungeon, so that's good. Target himself or an adjacent hero and roll a d4 results help restore. Having said that, he may do this multiple times, but since she's right there with him, he may actually use some of that for her. So, put that up here. So he's going to use 2 essence. So he's got 6, he goes down to 4. Okay. And he's going to roll d4. He's using this on himself. You can't see that. I rolled like a champ. It's a 1. So he goes from 6 to 7. He's going to do it again on himself. So he goes down to 2 essence. 3. Okay. So he goes from 7. That'll put him all the way up to 10. I think that's pretty good. He's going to use his last 2 to hit her for 1 time. Oh, come on, a 3 or a 4 would be great. 3. Okay, so he's gonna hit her. That's gonna take her from 3. 3. She at 3? I think she was at 3. 6. I accidentally hit the little marker. So she's at 6 health. Yeah, because it was a 2 and then a 1. It was wonderful rolls. Cool. And remember, this is not, because it doesn't have the red arrow, this isn't channeled. So, we're good to go. This is just, as long as you got the stuff. Now, just because it starts that way, doesn't mean it ends that way, right? Because look, you can see here, we got a red arrow. Oops, we got a red arrow on his next level of that. Well, you do get a d6, so you get a higher roll. It's a little bit more essence, but this one is channeled. So, just remember that, okay? Just because they start out that way doesn't mean they end that way. Okay, so that's not any part of his actions, okay? That was just at any time on a turn. It doesn't say as an action. Gonna double check that. Get to pick a lock, attack a minion, move an attack, move to a chamber, enlightenment. Yeah. It specifically says on the reference card here that things that do not cost an action, but you have to spend the essence. So remember, your essence is kind of like you're doing your action, but not exactly. All right, cool. Enough of me bibble babble. Let's move. First action, he's going to do some movement. He's going to have to go through this arrow trap, so might as well get it done. So 3 plus 2 is a 5. So he's going to come out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then he's going to try to move again. Okay, 6. All right, so that's plenty of movement. It follows the damage taken here in the statements and statistics of marches. Yeah. So he's going to go 1, 2, 3. And then that's going to trigger the trap. So it says, any hero entering the space must also test agility. If you open the chest and make enemies hurt, followed by arrows firing on the walls, place the arrow trap. Test agility 3 separate times. On a failed roll, 1d6. The result is damage taken minus the hero's level. Any hero entering this space must also test agility. Monsters ignore this hazard. Alright, and so based on that reading, to me, and again, if I'm wrong, somebody can let me know. Based on that reading, I think that initially, when you open the chest, it says test agility 3 separate times to dodge the arrows. Any hero entering this space must also test agility later on. So to me, it seems like initially you do like three different tests, and up to 3 different tests. So basically, it gives you a higher chance of being hit by the arrows initially. But once the chest has been activated, that trap's there, you know it's there, and you got to go through it. I mean, it makes sense. You would try to be more cautious, even if you wouldn't be surprised by it. So I think a single roll is all we would do. Again, if that's wrong, let me know. But we need agility is 18 is the test. We've got a 2 in agility, so we need a 16 or higher to dodge it. And 11 is not going to do it. So he's going to take a D6 minus his level, so this minus 2. 4 minus 2, so he's going to take 2 damage, and then be able to continue on his way, I believe. Which puts him to 8, by the way, health-wise. So he's going to continue on. He had plenty of movement. He's going to go into this room. And, of course, remember this is the last enemy. So this is what he's going to be fighting, because this was the set-aside. And then, we've got some tests going on, so we're going to see a little bit more difficulty with this. And, yeah, let's see what we got. Let's see if he can make it out. All right, so here we are back at the board. We're going to go the same route that we took last time. This Viper is the same, actually, as the last one, stat-wise, but this is a more dangerous version because it has this Thrashing Strike. So we are going to have to deal with this Thrashing Strike. So let's get those tokens out, and let's take a quick look at what Thrashing Strike does. So, Thrashing Strike, before combat, each hero must test strength to block the Viper. So this says before combat, so that's a one-time deal. So it's not each combat round, it's just one time. And we do a strength check. If we fail, we take a damage and lose an essence. Now, we don't have any essence left. If we can't take essence loss, then we take physical damage loss. So we would actually lose 2 health. And then we would test physical resistance. And if we failed that, then we get an affliction. Now, fortunately, we're pretty good on the stats-wise for that because it is the Paladin. But as my rolling has proven, that doesn't always really mean anything. So let's start with the first part. Strength check, an 11. He has a +3, so we need a... it doesn't matter. We got an 11, so he passed that. Then we also have to test physical resistance. So the attributes are like strength, willpower. Those are the attributes. When it says physical resistance, it's talking about your physical stat. We have a +4 to that. And so we need we need a 12. So we need an 8 or higher. Alright, there's another 11. So we passed. If we had failed, to show you what would have happened, there's a deck here of all these different resistances. There's one for each of the warfare types. They all do something different. The one that is for physical is bleeding. So at the start of every upkeep phase, we would have to heal that. And there's limited ways to heal that. If you got a second one, then, now you've got a broken bone. So you want to get rid of those afflictions before they get too bad, especially. And it can be super detrimental. So, here we go. We're going to figure out which one of these we're going for first. We're doing ranged first. Everybody loves a little ranged in their life. Remember, we have +0 from our hero. So plus another 3 and 2 is a total of 5. I would note that if we do mining, we could potentially slot in something into that, because that is a slotted socket weapon. So we got, again, a +5. We need a 9, so that's just 4 better. I always try to roll this. All right, there is a 9, so that is plenty. That's 2 damage on the Viper. take 2 damage. So we only need 1 more to kill him. So it's either a 1 or a 3. Of course, it's the crappy one. So this is a -3 to this roll. We're going to use the bow again. And again, remember, this is because we're using the Evolved Combat rules. Okay. Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, 11 and 6. That's awesome. That's a 17. Even with the -3, that's a 14, which is plenty. We only need an 11 to actually overkill the Viper. So we have vanquished this Viper. So let's do our loot roll. Do our loot roll. We need a 13 or better to get something. A 5 is not going to do it. But we did kill him. And having killed him, we had just completed another quest. So let's go take care of that on our Dungeon UI board. Alright, so here we are. Still in the hero phase, but back at the UI board. So, this is our objective. If you remember, we finally killed, that was the last room that we needed to kill stuff in. So you see on the top, we got 400 gold and 8 essence. So, I'm going to put the 8 essence into our little essence pool that I got going right here. So that's a total of 10, 16, that's 17. Sorry, life force. Gotta keep calling it essence. But it did complete this. So that is our side quest. So boom, that book is cleared. So you see the only thing we have left is the Guardians. So now we're going to go Guardian hunting. That is going to be our goal. And yes. Whew, alright, cool. Yeah, that takes care of that. So let's go to our next activation, the 4th activation, which is going to be our Battle Mage. Alright, so here we are with our Battle Mage. And I think, remember, she has the Spectral Sword. She has the Spectral Sword, which costs her 2 to use. And then she has, of course, Ice Prism, which costs her 3 to use. Now, the deal is, we're pretty close, as you can see, to, well, not really. Dang it. So I was going to say, she's pretty close to the Guardian, but it looks like it, but there's actually a wall right here, so she is not near as close as I wish she was. So, but I mean, we're gonna have to fight him at some point. So I feel like probably she is going to. What's she gonna do? She might as well head that direction. So with her 2 actions, because we cleared out that room. Of course, we could go further down here and clear out another chamber just to get potentially some gold and whatnot. That's kind of close-ish. Actually, there's an enemy right there. So let's have her start moving that way. Let's have her start moving this way. Maybe Razor Fang will come in an area close by there when he activates. They're both very similar. Razor Fang has a physical attack, and as opposed to the spiritual that the Dread Thorne has. So the Razor Fang is definitely going to be the easier one, so maybe we'll target him first. So let's start moving towards Razor Fang. So she's going to move. Whoa, 6. She's got big movement. That is a total of 8 movement. So she's going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is her first activation. Sorry, I don't mean to say activation. That is her first action on her turn. Let me get the terminology right. And then she's going to do the same thing again. Yeah. Yeah, that way he could go further up or further down. I'm going to send her further down. We'll see. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So she's going to go right there. So that is both of her activations. Sorry, both of her actions on her activation. Our paladin is going to follow suit with the 5th activation. He has 2 actions. Boom, boom. Going to be doing the same thing. Moving 7, and he's going to come out here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, he's much closer to Razorfang. So if Razorfang moved to here, when he moves for his movement, he's going to target the Paladin, which is what we want. But before that happens, man, I should have... Oh... You know what? 1, 2... Went in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Okay, just making sure that's right. It's unfortunate because in order for her to go that way, she'd have to go through this arrow trap. And that doesn't go away. That is persistent. Kind of like the sinkhole that's right here. That is persistent. Oh man, she's going to go through the sinkhole too. But that's only 3 movement to get over it. So that is much preferred as opposed to taking damage. So I'm okay with that. So that was his first action. His next action, he's going to move. Total of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now he is 1, 2, 3. He is within sight of the Guardian. So that is going to start the tracking. Alright. So we've got 2 tracking tokens. One is going to go on Razorfang, and one is going to go on Carrick on his board. Now remember, it just so happens that these are both the same character class, so he's not going to switch targets because they're the same character class. And he is going to be moving towards the Paladin on his turn. His first, he gets basically 3 actions. His first action will be to move towards the Paladin and attack him. Right, so that'll be what he'll do with his actions. I do not believe that with 3 actions he would attack twice. I don't think. I could be wrong. I'll have to look that up, but I don't think he'd be able to attack twice. But either way, he's targeted the Paladin, so that's who he's going for. Next activation will be the 6th activation. It's coming from the Battle Mage. There's her to remind me. And we got a D6. Her movement is 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now she doesn't have 3 movement to get over this, so she's gonna have to stop there. And then the next action is gonna movement again. She got a total of 6. She got a total of 5. 3 plus 2. So the sinkhole says a hero must spend 3 movement to jump over the sinkhole. So I'm assuming that means 3. Oh God. She can either go here or here, because there's a sarcophagus there. I guess she's gonna go here. Damn you, traps. And hey, it's an Admiral Akbar. So, you know what time that is. Yep, it's time for another trap. And this is not gonna be good for us. Are traps ever good? Let's just be honest. No. That is not what we're doing. Okay, so here we go. Traps. Come on. Let's try to get something maybe not repeating. So here's our trap deck. I'm going to draw the top trap card. And let's see what we get. So we get Mirror of Self-Worth. This hero has discovered an archaic mirror with an emblem of an ancient deity of the underground perched at the top. Gazing at the mirror, the vision speaks to the hero. Test wisdom. On a success, the hero smashes the mirror and proceeds with their turn. On a fail, the hero starts to self-inflict damage upon themselves. Roll a d3. Result is damage taken. The hero must keep repeating this test until they smash the mirror, thus ending their turn. Okay. Well, so much for it not being repeatable. That was her second action. So, wisdom. Well, fortunately for us, she's got pretty good wisdom. She's got a +3 to her wisdom. And the number we're trying to beat is a 14. So we need an 11 or better. She doesn't have anything else to modify this for this roll. No, 19. Whew. Because if we'd have failed, it would have been this bad boy for damage. If we failed, that would have been 2 damage. I'm just curious. And if we'd have gone another time, oh my gosh. Why am I not just wasted 2 amazing loot rolls? Okay. Well, that was actually not nearly as bad as I thought it was going to be. So that mirror is smashed to smithereens. And she can continue with her turn. So she used 3 to jump over the sinkhole, remember? So she's got 2 more left. So she's going to go 3, 4, 5. So that is the end of her activation, and that actually is the end of the hero phase completely. So now we're going to go into the monster phase. And we're going to see what wonders await. Alrighty, here we are at the monster phase. So remember, the first thing we do is we roll to see if we have enough minions. Well, we actually do. We don't need any more minions. We already have 5. You can see there's the tracking token on Razorfang. So we're going to start and we're going to see if any of these convert into rating. We're using a D10 on a 10. They will, starting with the Skeletal Grunt and going to that order. Skeletal Grunt is a no. Red Orc Siege Breaker. Ooh, close. Green Orc Siege Breaker. No. Wraith. No. Blue Orc Siege Breaker. Oh, that was close. Okay. So nobody is converting into rating. So we will do movement. And we do the movement, remember, in minions first, I believe. So let's go to the Skeletal Grunt and go ahead and have him move, and let's see where they go. Alright, here we are. Skeletal Grunt is right here. So that is where he's going to move. We got a D6. Oh, the camera's being weird. Of course it's being weird. Hold on. Alright, here we go. That seems to be a lot better. Alright, so here we go, right here. Movement is a 5 plus 2 is a 7. It's currently moving on the purple because remember we rolled that last time. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's roll the patrol route and see blue. So it's going to be turning and heading this direction next. Okay. The next is the red Orc Siege Breaker, who is in the corner. So let's go to him. Alright, so red Orc Siege Breaker right here. He is fixing to hit a spawn point, so we're going to go ahead and roll the patrol route die and the D6, and this is a plus 2 for him. Alright, so 3, and he's going orange. So 1, going orange, 2, 3. Alright, then we got the green Siege Breaker, who is actually right there. So we're going to do the same thing again, a d6 plus 2, and a decision with a patrol route die. Purple, a d6 plus 2, that's 7 plus 2. Or sorry, that's 5 plus 2 is 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, well, that's not good. We got a lot of action over here. She's got to deal probably with them, and then Razorfang, remember, is tracking the Paladin, so... Alright, Red Wraith next. Alright, here we go. Red Wraith next. That is a d6. He is at a plus 3, and remember, he has the Shadow Step, so he may potentially take multiple actions. So 4, so that's 7. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's headed that way, 7. But remember, we have the Shadow Step. So let's see, in a 16 to 20, he's going to go again. And that was a 9, so he does not go again. Whew. Fortunately for us. Okay, Blue Orc Siege Breaker is next. Alright, and the Blue Orc Siege Breaker is right here. So we're going to be going through him. He is going to get a d6 plus 2, and he is pretty close to spawn point, so we'll go ahead and roll the roll route die while we're here. 2, he's choosing green, 2, and 2 is 4. 1, 2, 3, he actually is heading that way on the green path. Awesome. Sort of. Next is the Guardian. So over here, just off the screen, is Razorfang. He's going to be moving towards our Paladin, and we're going to be doing some combat. Okie doke. So, Razorfang goes. Now, it is important to note that he is within 4, so he is tracking. He's already tracking the Paladin, so he's going to attack the Paladin because he can get to him. But we don't have any essence. Our Paladin is out of essence. He used it to pump up his heals. Now, what that means, if we had saved an essence, which we probably should have done, I did not move Albus. I need to do that. In essence, we would be able to counterattack because this is the monster's turn. If it was our turn, we could have moved and then attacked him, but since it's the monster's turn, all we can do is defend. So, the first, remember, there's 3 activations. So, boom, Bangvik moves adjacent to our Paladin. And then he is going to attack. And remember, all we can do is defend. So we're just hoping we're not taking damage. Okay, so remember, again, this is all just defending. So, first thing he's going to hit with is the Mythical, which is our worst. That is a -3 for us. It's an 11, so we need a 14 or higher to defend. 7 is not going to do it. Paladin takes damage. He goes from 8 to 7 health. We flip that over. Gonna do a roll. We already used that one. Come on. Alright, physical. Our physical is a total of 4. We use this sword. It's a total of 6. It's a 14. So we need an 8 or better on this. If we fail, we take 2 damage. Oh my god. Just barely. Gotta cut that crap out. I'm gonna have a heart attack. Okay. So then obviously range is next with a 3, a 5. It's an 11. We need a 6 or better. If we fail, this is also 2 damage. Alright, there's a 12. So the good news is we didn't take any damage. So the good news for us is these monsters are the same way that we are, in that once they do their attack, they're done. So he actually, Razorfang technically has, only used 1, I guess, really maybe 2 of his actions, but he's already attacked. So even though he has another action, or 2 more actions actually, he's not going to do 2 more rounds of combat. He did his attack, he's good, which is good because we got good rolls and didn't take any damage. So that's a plus for us. That's what we like. We do not want to take damage if we can help it. So yeah, that takes care of him. We didn't take any damage. So now let's go to Thorne, who is going to be popping around the board, and let's see where he ends up. Alright, so here we are. Thorne is right there. Let's see where he goes. He is a movement of 4. He's got those wings, and he is hauling it. So he's going to go green first. So, hashtag sound effects. So that's where he's at. That's 1. Second is blue. That's 2. And remember, this is where I said if I could house rule it, if I house ruled it, I'll say they couldn't go back the same way they came just to make it more dynamic. Third move is pink. So he's moving here. That's the third one. And the last move is pink again. So he's actually going to end up right here. So a little bit closer to us than we were, but he hasn't engaged anybody, so that's good. And that is, I believe, if I haven't missed anything, the end of the hero quest. The end of the monster phase. Do remember, though, that we still have this event card. You remember this event card? It's been a minute. But we can use this for damage. Right? We can remove one of these tokens and do a D3 of damage. These are charges. They summon adjacent to a minion, champion, or guardian. They may use one of their actions to activate the stone. So we potentially could, with our paladin, attack Razorfang with one of our actions, because obviously we're right there. And then we could use another action to do 1d3 hits. Now, if we get lucky, if we did 2 hits and 2 hits with the bow, if we hit twice, which maybe not. If we get 3 damage, if we get 4 damage, and then we could roll D3, that would kill him. So, we'll see. But that would be awesome if we could go ahead and take him out. We got that, might as well use it to make it easier for us. And hopefully save some damage for our paladin, because we still have the other guardian to take out. But that is the end of that round. Pretty decent round. The traps, we did okay with the traps. Kind of found an alternative. Yes. Before we go, though, I never moved Albus, so let's go ahead and kind of go back and do that. I always forget about him because I don't have an activation token for him. Alright, I know that's kind of a long shot for Albus because he's way up here, but hopefully our pooch is going to be moving and grooving. And so, yeah. I'm not going to use Enlightenment on him yet. There's no reason to. He's only got a couple hundred gold, but that's definitely something to consider. Okay, so first movement. It says this D6 plus 6, so that's a total of 10. We're just trying to get over here to the exit. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then one more. 3 plus 6 is 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8, 9. Oh, wait, no. Let's go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he moved there. That's where he was at. And then he can go this way. I don't know why in the world I was going the long way around. Oh, see. Now, the Guardian is here. That's okay. He avoids, nothing stops him. Traps, minions, guardians, champions. Oh, there would be any champions out there, but all those don't stop him. So with the other 9 movement, he's actually going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So he's actually going to end up right beside that grunt, but again, those don't affect him. He just runs right past them. So that now is everything done. Whew. Okay. We're good. That completes that round, and we'll start a new one. Hey, good news. Nobody died this round. Always a plus. I like it when that happens. So, there you go. Yeah, that is the end of this round. And let's go into the next round and see what happens.